Assalamu alaikum viewers. I am Samiullah Khan and you are watching Language TV. Viewers, our today's topic is Sappho, a first lesbian poet. Viewers, I am facing a corona. Because of this disease, my voice is slow and you receive a little bit interruption. So sorry for that. Sappho was an ancient Greek female poet who wrote lyrical poetry famous for its intense passion and description of love. Being born on the isle of Lesbos, she is also referred to as the first lesbian poet. The word lesbian is derived from the name of the Greek island of Lesbos, home to the 6th century BCE poet Sappho. Little is known of her actual life, though she was born around 620 BC and died approximately 50 years later. Sappho lived on the island of Lesbos in the east of the Aegean Sea. From various ancient writings, historians gathered that a group of young women were left in Sappho's charge for their instruction or cultural edification. Little of Lesbos' poetry survives, but her remaining poetry reflects the topics she wrote about: women's daily lives, their relationships, and rituals. She focused on the beauty of women and proclaimed her love for girls. There is also the question of her sexuality. It's thought that Sappho expressed a modest interest in men, and in fact, such expressions were grossly caricatured in later forms of entertainment. Some surviving verses from Sappho, including a hymn to Aphrodite, prominently showcase same-sex desire. Sappho thus eventually developed a reputation of representing romance between women, with her home island Lesbos having inspired the term lesbian. Though the word had different connotations in ancient times, historians are unsure about whether to take her poetry as reliable autobiographical evidence. However, evidence from the period suggests she was temporarily exiled to Sicily because of political troubles on the island of Lesbos. Sappho is sometimes referred to as a lesbian. The word lesbian is actually derived from her place of birth, Lesbos. However, there is no hard evidence about her sexuality. Her poems express great passion for a variety of people, both men and women. They may have been autobiographical or not. Her first-person descriptions of erotic love and longing are read in tantalizing bits and pieces. Take the famous fragment 130. It's telling that Sappho's poems are labeled as numbered fragments in most 20th century translations, which reads in its entirety: once again love, the loosener of limbs, shake me, that sweet, bitter, irresistible creature. A philosopher, Maximus of Tyre, wrote that friendships of Sappho were similar to those of Socrates, suggesting Sappho had a circle of like-minded friends brought together by love of art, poetry, and culture. It has been suggested with little authority that Sappho may have been the head of some formal academy like a school. However, it is more likely to be a less formal circle of friends. The poetry of Sappho often revolves around themes of love and passion and has a clarity and simplicity of language. Within her poems there is great vividness and directness. The style is often conversational, giving an impression of immediacy and action. The poems were also sung to music, meaning they needed to be lyrical in form. Sappho is believed to have at least two brothers and may have been married and had a daughter. Before the mid-19th century, the word lesbian referred to any derivative or aspects of Lesbos, including the type of a wine. In Charles Swinburne's 1866 poem Sapphics, the term lesbian appears twice, but capitalized both times after twice mentioning the island of Lesbos, and so could be construed to mean from the island of Lesbos. In 1875, George Saintsbury, in writing about Baudelaire's poetry, refers to his lesbian studies, in which he includes his poems about the Passion of Delphine, which is a poem simply about love between two women, which does not mention the island of Lesbos, though the other poem alluded to, entitled Lesbos, does. Use of the word lesbianism to describe erotic relationships between women had been documented in 1870. In 1890, the term lesbian was used in medical dictionary as an adjective to describe lesbian loves or tribadism. The term lesbian, invert, and homosexual were interchangeable with Sapphist and Sapphism around the turn of the 20th century. The use of lesbian in medical literature became prominent by 1925. The word was recorded as a noun to mean the female equivalent of a sodomite. The question of how long Sappho lived has also been tied into the realm of legend. One story states that she might have jumped from a cliff due to unrequited love from a male sailor, but her old age poem, discovered in 2004 and featuring lines about time's effects on the body, implies that the poet lived past middle age. Her reported year of death ranges from 570 to 550 BC. The bulk of Sappho's work was lost due to adverse environmental conditions and the restrictive modes of the Middle Ages, though papyri fragments managed to surface by the late 1800s. In 2013, Oxford University scholar Binnick announced the findings of two more pieces from Sappho's Brothers' poems and Caprice. The second poem about unrequited love. The second poem, less complete poem, the Caprice poem. Sappho muses on the pain and paradox of unrequited love. In one particularly moving line, the speaker asks, "How can someone not be hurt and hurt again? Queen Aphrodite by the person one loves, and wishes above all to ask back." Her poetry was collected into 9 books at the Library of Alexandria. Professor Armand is an expert in ancient music. He recreated the tune of fragment 44 of Sappho. Professor said she is really the only great woman poet from Greek ancient antiquity. They called Sappho the 10th muse. The muses were the goddess of ancient poetry. There were 9 of them, but Sappho seemed to be a woman almost divine in her ability to entrance her audiences, and so she was given the honorific title of a 10th muse. Goodbye.